Hi, my name's Ryana, and today I'm going to talk about college education. So, from an early time, education was highlighted as a very key component to human growth and success. As a race and a society, we've developed that idea and have learned that we want to expand knowledge to as many people as possible. And college education is one of the ways we've tried to do that. College has been created not only to help people and society benefit, but to help each individual achieve a comfortable standard of income, a job, and lifestyle in general. But times are changing a little bit, and those benefits are beginning to decline. And that's the proposition I'm going to talk about today. The benefits of college are declining. And we can see that through cost, the percentages of people that are attending college, and the amount of jobs that are available. So I'm going to start with the cost of tuition today. The cost of tuition is skyrocketing, and it's putting a lot of students in debt. In a study done by PayScale in 2013, they found that in the time span between 1990 and 2013 that college tuition has increased by 300%. And that is causing a lot of families to empty their pockets, take out very impressive loans just to accommodate this high tuition. PayScale also found in their study that these student loans are skyrocketing as well now. And there's about $1.2 trillion in outstanding student loans alone. Naturally, we think, well, after college, we can go graduate, get a job, pay off this debt. But in the PayScale study, they found that out of the 2,700 four-year schools here in America, only 72 of those schools found that, or saw their graduates actually earn a $1 million return in their financial investment in college. So why not just save your money? Don't go to college. But that leads me to my second argument that people are willing to spend this money because they feel they need to. College has become more of a norm. It's more of a requirement for a certain caliber of job that you want. People, and back in 50 years ago, if you went to a job application and that pool of applicants, a majority of people would probably only have the high school diploma. And there'd be a rare amount of people that had a bachelor's degree. And so those people would stand out. Now, if you go to an applicant pool, a majority of them have a bachelor's degree. So you no longer stand out in that applicant pool, you need more. Also, with how many people that are going to college, it's making a lot of classes, a lot of programs very impacted. It's making that hard for students going to college to get their classes. And in that case, it's hard for them to finish within 4 years. In expanding the time that they're spending in college, they're increasing their debt for most people and increasing the time that they're spending in college. This kind of sets them back into the amount of time that they're able to start their career and start their life. And you would find a lack of benefit in that standard, or leaving that standard of getting a job because it's setting them back so much. My last argument is the scarcity of jobs. William Bennett, who was a former U.S. Secretary of Education and a liberal arts graduate, he wrote a book called Is College Worth It? And in his study, in his book, in 2010 to 2011, he found that half of all college graduates were unemployed or underemployed. And that's actually complemented in the study done by PayScale, where they found that 7.8% of college graduates were unemployed. And that's actually higher than the national unemployment rate. Many college graduates, because they are unemployed, they can't find a job, they'll find a second job, which actually has nothing to pertain with their degree. And so a lot of students are ending up in jobs that don't have anything to do with all the work and time that they spent in earning their major or their bachelor's degree. And so they're losing the benefit of working in something that they worked really hard for. So we asked, like William Bennett did, is college worth it? We know that one, the cost of college is making students go into debt. Two, so many people are attending college that it no longer lets you stand out, and you are spending a lot more time in college. And three, the high percent of graduates are unemployed or working in something that has nothing to do with what they worked in college for. So overall, we can conclude that the benefits of college are declining.
Okay, well, the proposition's clearly identified, and I think you make it, a reasonable proposition. I think with this audience, it's clearly controversial, given that they're all in college right now. That seems to suggest that there's going to be a different point of view from most of the people that you're talking to. There's a preview of what the supporting structure is going to be, although I think in the body of the speech you want to make those supporting claims more consistently declarative sentences, but I know what the subjects are on each of those particular points. There was a nice transition to the second point in the body of the speech. The third point seemed a little bit abrupt. The examples are mostly hypothetical. There's some statistical information. Pay scale sounds like an interesting site. I think you might want to do a little bit more to qualify it, since you're so dependent on it on that first point for most of the information on that particular point. On the third point, Bill Bennett, you do attribute, I should say, qualify him and explain what's going on there. So those would be the two sources that you use the most, and the ones statistical and factual data. So I don't doubt that most of it is true, but again, I'd like to know what that is. I don't know anything about that site, so or that source, so it would be helpful to know a little bit more. I knew more about Bennett because of the explanation that you gave on his credibility. I think the first point about the costs going up, that's pretty easy to pick out. You've got changes over a number of years, the amount of debt that's been accumulated, and whether or not anybody is getting their money back from the investment. That, I think, that argument needed a little bit more development, but I understood the point that you were trying to make, although I'm not exactly sure that you had to get $1 million return in order to pay off the investment, but maybe you do. That would require me to do more math than I'm doing in listening to this speech currently. Like I said, on the second part, I think you've got a good argument here, but it's all hypothetical in nature. I think there's probably some illustrations that you could use where a bachelor's degree is given as a minimum for a variety of jobs, and you could describe some of those jobs that don't require any technological expertise, no previous experience, but the learning standard is that people have this particular point. By the way, I don't see any information that says that there are people who all have that. I assume that there are more people who have bachelor's degrees than we did 50 years ago, but I don't know that that's still half the population, third of the population, 3/4 of the population. I think there's some statistical information that could be provided on that second point. The third point, under employment and unemployment, there's some good data there. I think you make your argument pretty effectively, linking it to the lack of training in the particular job. That needed to be developed a little bit more. I thought you did a very nice job summarizing the speech at the end, giving us that last punch on the argument. I thought that worked really well, and you do a nice job speaking to the audience as well, so that adds to your credibility. Thank you.